Hello friends, I welcome you to the next video. We were learning about bills of exchanges. In this video we'll learn about dishonor of bills. Okay, so what is dishonor of bills? In what is dishonor of bills? If a bill is honored on the due date, the drawee takes away the bill and he pays the money in return on the due date. Whereas in the case of dishonor of the bills, when the bills are presented for payment to the drawee, because the drawee does not have money, he may dishonor the bill, he may not make the payment on the bill. In such a case, the drawer or the person who is holding the bill on the due date, he will get the fact of dishonor noted on the bill by paying some charges to the notary public. This acts like an evidence in the court that the bill was presented for payment and it was not honored by the drawee on the due date. So when the bill is dishonored by the drawee, the drawer or the endorser who is holding the bill on the due date will get the fact of dishonor noted on the bill by paying some charges to the notary public, so that this can be submitted in the court in case we require the support of the court to collect our payments. Okay, so we have a problem here on dishonor of bills. We'll learn how to do accounting for that. Mr. Jack sold goods on credit to Mr. Jill, rupees 50,000 on 1st April 21. So what are the entries we are going to write in the books of Jack and in the books of Jill? So on 1st April 21, the entry in the books of Jack was Mr. Jill account debit 50,000 to sales account 50,000. Entry in the books of Mr. Jill on the same day would be he is purchasing goods, so he will pass the entry purchases account debit 50,000 to Mr. Jack account 50,000. Now this entry is very important because of this transaction the relationship of debtor and creditor has been created between Jack and Jill. You can observe in the books of Mr. Jack, Mr. Jill is appearing as a debtor, and in the books of Mr. Jill, Jack is appearing as a creditor. Now what is the meaning here? Jack is saying Mr. Jill owes me money 50,000, and Mr. Jill is saying that to Mr. Jack, we owe money 50,000. So Jack says Jill owes me 50,000 and Jill says we owe to Mr. Jack 50,000. So Jack is saying Jill has to pay me 50,000, whereas Jill says I have to pay 50,000 to Mr. Jack. So this position of debtor creditor has been created because of this transaction. Okay. Now let us see how they temporarily settle this position using a bill of exchange. So he drew a bill on the same day for 3 months, which was accepted by Jill. So Mr. Jack drew a bill for 50,000 rupees on Mr. Jill on the same day. Mr. Jill accepted the bill and gave it back to Mr. Jack. So when bill is received by Mr. Jack, what is the entry we pass? We pass the entry bills receivable account debit to Mr. Jill account 50,000. This is the entry we pass. What is the logic we are saying? We are saying bill is an asset. It is coming in, hence debit. Jill is the giver, personal account, hence credit. What is the entry in the books of Mr. Jill? Entry in the books of Mr. Jill is Mr. Jack account debit 50,000 to bills payable 50,000. We are saying Jack personal account receiver of money or money's worth debit, bills payable, it is a bill, real account goes out credit. Now what we are saying here is, apart from the rules which I have written, the logic behind the journal entry is we are saying that Mr. Jill has discharged his liability. He has paid us whatever he had to pay by giving us an asset called as bill. We are treating it equal to money. We are saying Jill had to give me money. He has paid me the money by giving me a bill. I have treated the bill equal to money and I have settled the account of Mr. Jill in my books of account. Here in the books of Jill, Jill is saying I have given you money's worth. Bill is equal to money. Because I have paid you the money, I have settled your account in my books. Here Jack was shown as a creditor. By debiting the account is settled. So if you prepare Jill's ledger account in the books of Mr. Jack, after these two journal entries, if I prepare Jill account, there will be a debit of 50,000 for sales and there will be a credit of 50,000 for bills receivable. The account is settled here. In the books of Jill, if I prepare Jack account, Jack ledger account, you will have credit of 50,000 for purchases, and then when I have given the bill, I have debited with 50,000. The account is settled. So we are saying the debtor creditor relationship has been settled by giving bills. Now these entries are correct only when on the due date the bills are honored and they really become money. Today we are just treating them as equal to money. They have to ultimately become money on the due date. If they fail to become money on the due date, then in such case these entries become wrong and these entries have to be reversed. Okay, so on the day of receiving the bill, we are treating them equal to money and we are passing these journal entries. On the due date, if the bills are honored and they get converted into money, then it is very good. If they fail to become money, that means if the drawee fails to honor the bill, then in such cases these entries become wrong and they would have to be reversed on the due date. Okay, now let us see what happens on the due date. On the due date, Jill could not make the payment. That means he has dishonored the bill. The fact of dishonor was got noted by Mr. Jack. Mr. Jack paid noting charges of rupees 200 on 4th July 2021. Now please listen very carefully. We pass this entry based on the assumption that the bill was valuable. That means on the due date we'll collect money. But on the due date, that is on 4th July 2021, Jill failed to honor the bill. That means this bill is nothing but a useless paper. And for useless paper, if you have passed any entry in your books of account, that entry needs to be reversed to restate the parties to their original position. So on 4th July 2021, when bill is dishonored, what is the entry I have to pass? The bill has become a waste paper or a valueless paper now. So whatever entry we have passed earlier for this bill, that entry has to be now reversed. So we have earlier passed the entry bills receivable account to Mr. Jill. I will now reverse the entry Mr. Jill account debit to bills receivable 50,000. And the entry here would be bills payable account debtor to Mr. Jack account 50,000. So what is this entry? This entry is actually reverse. I'll say this entry is reversed here. Okay, so same way here this entry is reversed. So whatever entry we have passed earlier, we have now reversed. Now by doing this, what happens is, when we pass the first and second entry, we saw that the account of Jill in the books of Jack got settled. It was showing zero balance. And in the books of Mr. Jill, Jack account was showing zero balance. By passing this entry, Jill is restated to his debtor position, and by passing this entry, Jack is restated to his creditor position. That means the position of debtor creditor is restated. That means they go back to their earlier positions. Now, on the same day when the bill was dishonored, the fact of dishonor was noted by a notary public, and the fact was got noted by Mr. Jack, because in future if he wants to enforce these bills in a court and he wants to collect money on these bills, he would have to prove that the bill was dishonored on the due date. So he gets a certificate from the notary public and he pays some noting charges to him. So he's paying cash, 200 rupees he has paid cash, real account going out credit. He is going to recover this money from Mr. Jill, hence he will debit this amount to Mr. Jill account, 200 rupees. The logic behind the entry is cash is going out, it is real account going out credit, but this money has to be collected from Mr. Jill. I have to get this money back from Mr. Jill. So I will treat it as if I have paid the money to Mr. Jill, so that tomorrow he will give this money back to me. Even though I have paid it to the lawyer, in my books I will write as if I have given this money to Mr. Jill. I want to make him as a debtor in my book so that I can collect the money from him in the future. Now what is the entry in the books of Mr. Jack? I will write the heading also here. When noting charges are paid, what is the entry in the books of Mr. Jill? Noting charges is an expense for him. 200 rupees has to be debited and he has to give this money to Mr. Jack. Hence Mr. Jack account would be credited. So noting charges account would be debited with 200. For him it is an expense. The money has to be paid to Mr. Jack. Okay. If you want, the logic is noting charges, nominal account, expenses debit, Mr. Jack, giver of money, personal account, credit. Okay, so this is the logic we follow. Now by passing these two entries, you can observe that Jill becomes debtor for 50,200 and here Jack becomes creditor for 50,200. So this is the amount which Mr. Jill has to pay to Mr. Jack for settling his account. Okay, now let us see what happens next. Mr. Jill was declared insolvent. Later on, Mr. Jill has submitted a petition for insolvency before a court and the court has declared him insolvent, and only 25 paise in a rupee could be recovered from his estate on 6th October 2021. Okay, so on 6th October 2021, let us see what happens now. I'll say books of Jack and this is books of Jill. On 6th October 21, the total amount owed by Mr. Jill to Jack was 50,200. On that, Jack is only able to collect 25 paise in a rupee, or we can say 25%. So how much would this be? 25% is 1/4, that is 12,500, and 25% of 200 rupees is 50. So only 12,550 rupees could be recovered from the estate of Mr. Jill. So what is the entry in the books of Jack? Entry would be cash account debit 12,550 to Mr. Jill account 50,200. Mr. Jack knows that all the assets of Mr. Jill have been sold by the court, and by selling all the assets of Mr. Jill, the court is able to settle only 25 paise in a rupee, or 25% of his liabilities. So we know that the remaining amount cannot be collected. So 37,650 rupees would have to be written off as bad debts in the books of Mr. Jack. So out of 50,200 rupees, we have been able to collect 12,550 rupees and we have not been able to collect 37,650 rupees. It's a loss for the business. Okay, so Jack has lost this amount. So what is the logic? I'll write on the logic here. Cash, real account coming in debit, bad debts, nominal account loss, debit. Jill, personal account, giver of both cash and loss to us, credit. So this is the entry I pass. Okay. What is the entry in the books of Mr. Jill now? The entry he would pass is, he is settling Mr. Jack's account. So Mr. Jack account should be closed in his books. Mr. Jack account debit 50,200 to cash 12,550. The balance amount he is not able to pay, which we transfer it to an account called as deficiency account, 37,650 rupees. So this is the entry which will be passed in the books of Mr. Jill. Jack account would be debited with 50,200 to close the account. Okay. 12,550 is real account, going out, credit. The balance amount has to be transferred to an account called as the deficiency account, and the books of Jill would be closed. So these are the entries we pass in the books of Mr. Jack and Jill when a bill is dishonored. Okay. So the main point we have to remember is, when a bill is dishonored, on the date of dishonor, whatever entries have been passed with this bill of exchange or for this bill of exchange, those entries have to be reversed so that the parties would be restated to their earlier positions or positions before the drawing of these bills of account. Okay. So this is an example on dishonor of bills. Thank you.